Welcome to the C Show. I'm Charlie.
I'm Connor.
Listen, we've got a lot to crack into, so we're just going to get into it. SmackDown on June 27th, 2025. My first thought is, geez, that's a big Titatron and a ramp. So my thought process was, okay, we're doing the men's tag team and women's U.S. championship tonight and not tomorrow. And then I thought, it's not just the night of champions, it's the weekend of champions. And that's how they should rebrand it.
Yeah, again, they shouldn't say unless every single title is defended.
Yeah.
If they want to rebrand it like that, I'm with it.
Right. But again, like we had we had 6 or 7 title bouts over the weekend. And
Not all of them.
Not all of them. What do you mean? We had 3 on Friday, and then we had...
Well, what? So the World Heavyweight Championship wasn't defended.
Oh, so we had 5.
The women's tag titles weren't defended. The women's Intercontinental was not defended.
Mm-hmm.
They did the men's U.S. They did the women's U.S. on SmackDown.
Well, and then
men's
they did...
Intercontinental was supposed to, but didn't because of Dom's injury.
No, they did the men's title last night. What I'm saying is, it's just confusing. And I will broach the subject here and just say, what the Saudi government is engaging here is an act called sports washing. And I just want to acknowledge it off the top.
Yeah.
Because it'd be dumb not to. The Saudis have realized that this is the best way for them to move forward, is to take the massive amounts of money that they've earned by drilling into our planet and sucking out essentially the liquid goop of animal bones, of dinosaur bones. And then, we burned that for like 200 years and kind of destroyed the planet. And the Saudis know that. They've known since the 70s. All the oil companies have known since the 70s. So now they're just taking all of that money and they're going to drop $50 million to the WWE every year to do something in Saudi. They're going to drop another 50 million or however much it is to Serie A in Italy to have their championships there, or to have a cup series there. Like, they're going to do this. They're going to continue to do this. It's an effect of capitalism. I've got nothing else to say about it. So let's just get back to it. All right, SmackDown. Cody Rhodes first. We are blessed with Wade Barrett and Michael Cole on the call. But before Cody can even get anything out, it's time for Randy to come out.
So my first thought when Randy came out, because again, they come in and they both kind of do the stare down of the crown, is there's no chance that if Randy wins, he's never playing Elden Ring without putting that crown on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, if he's like the PS5 makes the beep and he's putting that crown on.
Do you think he's going to have like the system in like Darth Vader's chambers in Empire Strikes Back? And then one of his kids sees like putting the crown on his helmet and he scuttles away.
Not scuttles.
Scuttles. I didn't see like basically what happened here with the rest of this because there was a huge technical delay on Netflix. So for almost 30 minutes, we didn't get anything until JC Mateo and Solo backstage.
Well, oh, wait. So you literally got like nothing at all.
And I mean, I would still probably need to go back and watch it, but like that was my experience so far.
Okay, because when I watched it on the US feed, on the USA Network feed, they literally, it looked like that they had like taken like fan crowd camera footage and like kind of intercut that with the audio.
So I think what happened was there was an issue with the hard cam. And the hard cam is basically the main camera, right? Because it doesn't move. So you can anchor everything through it. That's just usually a philosophy when you're setting something up like that. And so I noticed, hey, everything's gone soft. When I was rewatching later in the weekend, I was like, oh, everything's soft cam now. And so I was like, oh, something must have happened with the with the hard cam, the main camera. And the hard cam is the camera that's up in the stands.
Mm.
And that's the one where it's giving you that sort of fan view from the stands. Whereas the soft cams are the ones down by the ring. And so I noticed that and I was like, oh, there's something up with the main camera feed. And I finally caught up to JC Mateo and Solo backstage. So did I miss anything else from Cody and Randy?
Not too much. It was basically Randy saying it's redemption for last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's redemption for him against John Cena. There's nothing he won't do to get that crown on his head.
Mm-hmm.
As always, right, you'll run to the 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment.
RKO.
My need to be king of the ring is just as good as anybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really about it. Cody finishes saying, you won't be king of the ring because I will.
Interesting. And then we cut to JC Mateo and Solo backstage. Again, terrible audio mixing. But let's give Jimmy one more chance to return. I loved the crowd chanting, "We can't hear you."
Oh, I missed that.
Oh yeah, it was not good. The end there, they say, everyone will see that we're just getting started because they sure as shit can't hear you. Tony Hinchcliffe to host a, quote, closed doors, non-televised event, unquote, after SummerSlam.
They really brought him back after everything with that last one after WrestleMania?
You think after the negative publicity that it generated, they'd be like, okay, maybe not. Maybe we do something after SummerSlam, but we don't bring in Tony Hinchcliffe.
No one said they were the smartest.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, Jimmy Uso versus JC Mateo. What's your move of the match here?
So my move of the match is early on, JC Mateo catches Uso coming off the ropes,
Mm-hmm.
and in one move makes it into like a sidewalk slam.
Mm-hmm.
Then soon after that, we get that standing moonsault, which I know both of us just always love.
Yeah, absolutely. Mateo absolutely crushed on Friday night. Did you hear the extended shout out for Taz?
No.
Yeah, so Taz got a huge mention. Michael Cole shouted him out. And then I was showing you beforehand, but afterwards we're going to play some wrestling games. But I was listening to their banter on SmackDown versus Raw 07. It's so good. It's so funny. There's the glazing of Saudi Arabia, et cetera, et cetera. The finale here and my move of the match is Jimmy kicks JC out of the ring, self-harm dive by Jimmy, and Mateo is down right in front of the ramp. Solo interferes with Jimmy by grabbing his leg, going up top for an Uso splash, but no one's home. There's a tour of the islands by JC Mateo, and it's over 1, 2, 3. When Charles pulls up his hand, or JC Mateo's hand, he points at JC's armpit. Solo gets Jimmy back up. He wants a hug from Big Jim. Where's the super kick? Because, of course, Jimmy is wearing black forces. Jimmy feigns the hug. He slaps little bro Solo. JC strikes from behind. Jacob Fatu comes running down the ramp. A pop-up Samoan drop. Solo rolls out. Fatu pop-up moonsault on Mateo. Jimmy and Fatu stare down in the ring. Jimmy shoves Fatu out of the way to kick Solo. Solo and JC stumble up the ramp. A big hype up for tomorrow's event between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Any thoughts on this match before we move forward?
I thought it was good, man. JC Mateo is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like that kid is right. Can we hand him a microphone? Can we let him talk more than taping his fist and saying, I'm getting ready to or be henchman in the background? Like,
yeah,
let this guy go. Like, he can wrestle. Like, let him start to try and talk. And maybe they already know he's not that good on the mic. Like, I have no idea of some of his previous stints and all, but like, dude, you got to get this guy talking. There are
definitely some people where they like try not to hand them the microphone, and like you play to everybody's strength. And JC Mateo's one of his strengths is just like doing these incredibly acrobatic moves, and he's just, I mean, what they said, he's 320,
something like that, maybe more. I don't know. He's gonna be the dude. Make him the dude.
Make him the dude. Speaking of dudes, DIY accosts the tag team division backstage. DIY claims they know that they haven't been the easiest to work with. Aldous comes in. He wants to see what's going on here. DIY is trying to motivate the division. DIY claims that Aldous doesn't care about the division and he needs to do something about it. He brings in Andrade. Andrade needs to find a tag team partner and then will face DIY tonight. DIY does not like this, but the rest of the division does.
Yeah, they bug out. They tell them all to shut up. And then as they're leaving, Ciampa screams, "It's a stupid idea."
And I mean, we've all been like at work or somewhere and like had done something stupid. It's just like, okay, all right, it is what it is. We do get a pre-tape of Julia and Zelina before this matchup for the U.S. Women's Championship. Julia calls out Zelina. She says, "My hard work is evident." Zelina responds immediately in another pre-tape. "The streets aren't made for everyone. That's why they made the sidewalks." Zelina, I don't know if you've ever been to Philadelphia. Nobody knows what. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. They're gonna walk on the sidewalk. They're gonna drive on the. They're gonna drive on the sidewalk. They're gonna walk on the street. Doesn't matter. But that leads us into Zelina versus Julia here for the U.S. Women's title. Zelina comes out in a snake costume. I guess the supports gave out, so she's just holding up the head of the snake.
I saw her holding it, and I was wondering, was it supposed to be like this? Because obviously she's gonna take it off for the match anyway. But I was like, this is something.
Yeah, it was certainly a choice. It was like that. I think it was Anthony Joshua in the third Joshua Fury matchup.
Oh, and he wore that giant suit of armor.
He wore like 40 pounds of armor and then like walked out slowly. And he was like, "I was so tired when the match started." And it's like, yeah, dude, that's why you got your ass knocked to the floor. You got your ass knocked to the floor by like a giant gypsy.
Can you say that?
He calls himself the Gypsy King. It's like a. Have you seen Snatch? Snatch is a classic. But Brad Pitt plays like a. They're called pikeys also, but it's like British rednecks, English rednecks essentially. But they're like pikeys, gypsies. Yeah. Zelina covers early. Julia turns around, and they give it back and forth. What's your move of the match here, Connor?
Before I jump there, I'm just gonna hit a couple of things. Zelina hit that second rope moonsault to the outside. Always love that. Zelina hits an arm drag into the steel steps and then does a meteora into the steps. That was absolutely amazing. And then my move of the match was, so Zelina hits a code red, basically like her diving over top of you powerbomb for a pin. And Julia literally like reaches her feet back to get them on the ropes to break the pin. I'm like, oh, that's such a great way. Like, again, anytime to break the count without kicking out, I love seeing people get creative with that.
Oh, absolutely. There's a few instances of that over the weekend. My move of the match is right after that. It's the finale. Julia gets the vertical suplex, Northern Lights bomb. 1, 2, 3 pin for Julia to win the U.S. Championship. Pretty big move for Julia. You know, only a few weeks ago she was getting added to the roster here on SmackDown,
and now already holding her first main title championship.
Pretty impressive. Congratulations, Julia.
Right after that, we do hear the announcement that SmackDown will be going back to 2 hours next week. So my thought is, okay, so 100%. Before they were going to Saudi Arabia, they're like, well, you're not cheaping us out of an hour of SmackDown. Like, we're going to get all 3 hours, and then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. $50 million goes a long way, folks. Backstage, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. We get a quick recap of their match. Charlotte backstage walks in on Alexa. Charlotte doesn't want to talk about it. Alexa says it seems like she needed the help. She doesn't want to be friends. She wants to be allies of convenience.
Lyd said here, she said that Charlotte's extensions were very poorly blended. Cannot confirm or deny, but I literally paused it. I'm like, what do you mean? And she explains to me. She's like, they are poorly done. I'm like, good. Boo, Charlotte Flair. Boo.
Charlotte Flair and Marjorie Taylor Greene must have the same stylist.
And again, I say it to you off mic. I hope they didn't have Alexa Bliss fly out to Saudi Arabia just to do this one backstage scene for the whole weekend, but I hope they made Charlotte Flair fly out there. I don't know how they would do that, 2-camera magic, but again, I hope she had to take that flight there and back, and Alexa Bliss got to chill.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Because it's a flight. It's a flight. I was going to say Allies of Convenience can't be the episode title because I can't spell convenience right all the time. I'm going to mess it up 9 times out of 10.
I realized like 3/4 of the way through my junior year of high school that I was spelling it wrong every time I sent it to my AP English teacher asking for them to respond to their nearest convenience, and it was just always wrong. But I'd done it so wrong, my my email was like, oh, it must be right. They always use this. Bad business, brother.
And you do it for like a year. You have to like, you got to like go in the back and fix that. Wade Barrett comes out to interview the Queen of the Ring finalists here. He won King of the Ring in 2015. There are some more glitches here for the Netflix audience, but Jade comes out first in a huge mirror suit. Asuka arguably gets the bigger pop. Jade says she has purpose. It's not pressure. Taking the title, not just taking the title, the whole damn throne.
Yeah, Asuka comes out saying power is not everything. I have skill and experience. I'm Asuka. No one is ready for Asuka. Jade starts talking. Well, you're going to regret. Naomi's music hits.
Mm-hmm. Naomi may wait for Tiffany versus Nia later, or these two when they're going for it. Just like when I took away the tag team title or months of your career, or broke up the big three. Jade attacks Naomi, nearly trips over Asuka. Asuka attacks. Fabulous stuff building up for the Queen of the Ring final. Backstage, Aldis and Pierce are chatting about how to solve the women's tag team titles since Liv is now out due to a medical issue. Aleister Black approaches. He wants to get this thing solved with Ron Killings, but Ron Killings comes in right afterwards.
I'm driving now.
I want John Cena. I am Calm Adam. Same SmackDown. Different continent. Pierce remarks. Lucha. Because we got DIY versus Andrade and a special guest, Rey Fenix.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. This is a great match. Probably one of my match from SmackDown. Yeah, let's take a look at what our moves of the match here. My move of the match really isn't a move of the match, more of a comment, a statement about the situation in Saudi Arabia. Like, listen, I think that if you're going to make the women dress up like Power Rangers, make the men dress up like Power Rangers too. Because Gargano and Ciampa are out there in their undies, basically, but then Tiffany has to like wear a full bodysuit. I understand. It's their culture. It's their rules. But it's a little wacky, folks. Just saying. What's your move of the match?
So my move of the match is early on, Ciampa hits Rey Fenix with just like a chop, but Phoenix sells it with like a whole backflip and fall. So that was so funny. And then my runner-up is Andrade hit a reverse DDT off the ropes, which was super nice here.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrade's DDTs. I loved his reverse DDT earlier in the match or towards the middle of the match. But yeah, no, this was a phenomenal match as well. The German suplex off a top turnbuckle by Phoenix is incredible. Gargano kicks the Phoenix face while Ciampa attempts to pin. Ciampa exposes his knee, but runs it right into a turnbuckle. Phoenix tosses Ciampa to Andrade after debilitating Black Friday driver, and then a message to Ciampa. Andrade pinned to win 1, 2, 3.
What'd you call that move? You said the Black Friday?
That's what they called it, a Black Friday driver.
Oh, really?
Black Friday.
Okay.
I liked it.
I was going to say, I missed them calling it that. I like that.
Yeah, no, Black Friday driver, and then a message, and just like boom, boom, back to back. Andrade and Rey Fenix, they struggled a little bit. Like, it's not their first match, or it's their first match together as a tag team, but they performed phenomenally against some of the best of the tag team division on SmackDown.
Yeah, they're both real good. Put them together, they're still both really damn good.
Well, what happens when you strap two rockets together, man?
more rocket, bigger rocket.
Big rocket. Big rocket. After a rerun of the Yin Yang promo, Ron Killings walks into the ring. Put some respect on my name. Ron wants John right now.
Let's go, buddy.
But Aleister Black is right behind him. Black Mass. I told you, Ron, not to drink from this cup.
I guess we're even now.
Byron Saxton interviews the Street Profits. It's been 4 years since the last time they held gold. They had to go through fire to get to the mountaintop. The answer is simple. They the only threat we got. It's Friday, so that means it's time to go to work. BFAB approaches, reminds them that she has their back.
Again, I hope they didn't make BFAB fly all the way out to go.
They did.
I know they did, but in my brain, I'm like, tell me they filmed it before or something else. Again, send Charlotte there and back. Everyone else gets to take the weekend off.
Backstage, we cut to another part of backstage. Aleister Black is back there. We might have missed something from Cody. I'm just not sure. Damian Priest admonishes Aleister Black, but Aleister says his debt is paid. I know truth. I know what he's capable, Damian says, of next time. Do it face to face. Carmelo Hayes enters as Aleister Black leaves. Mello reminds Priest to stay out of the way. Priest asks Mello to walk away. The truth hurts. Continuing on with the SmackDown Tag Team drama, we've got Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six. My one complaint is the Wyatt Six, their music always cuts before the best part. I don't get it. But
You get nothing.
I get nothing. My move of the match here is Rowan wants to get the double chokeslam on the Motor City Machine Guns, but they fight out and Fraxium delivers dual super kicks. Motor City Machine Guns follows up immediately afterwards, and then all four together deliver another huge super kick together to Rowan.
Yeah, so during the match, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, Los Garzas, and DIY all come out to ringside.
I probably should have said that first.
It's
right?
okay. So they all come out to ringside, and they're all kind of there looking, right, again, this is an issue for the tag division at large, and it ends up that after they go outside, right, the Garzas end up attacking Dawkins, and the match gets thrown out. Yeah. Everyone jumps in and starts stomping out the Wyatts. Mm-hmm. That's where Eric Rowan comes in, starts to kind of clean house until they all hit him with a super kick. Frazier tries to dive onto Rowan, but he catches him. Motor City Machine Guns do a double baseball slide into Frazier's back to knock him down.
Yes.
Axiom gets hit with the Sister Abigail DDT, and then the Street Profits both hit a dive. Dawkins over the side, and then Montez Ford, his patented over the ring post onto the whole tag division.
It's incredible, and it's a strike. He gets all 10 of them, you know?
I was trying to think of something to say with turkey. I was trying to get to turkey from bowling, but I couldn't get there. Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. Uncle Howdy has met a match in the Street Profits. The Six aren't finished. Once again, I was updating our rundown for this week, and I copied last week's rundown, and I got to this point, and I was like, I don't have to change the Fatu crash out. Because Jacob Fatu is crashing out outside. He runs into Jimmy Uso. Jacob says they don't need each other's help. Jimmy should have stepped up to Solo a long time ago. If you get in where you fit in, then we're going to be all right, Big Jim. That's keeping it 100.
You know what I mean?
Jacob says yeet. He says yeet. You know what I mean?
Yeet.
Yeet. Our main event for the evening here is the WWE Women's Undisputed Championship, Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton.
This match was great.
This
match was awesome. It starts with Nia removing a turnbuckle, something we'll see a lot over these next couple days.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of weapons, tables, all that. Nia hits the Samoan drop on the table.
Yes.
Right? We get Nia tries to use the kendo stick during the commercial. Tiffy kicks it away and picks it up and just starts whacking the hell out of her.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We get the Tiffy Swanton bomb. At one point, Tiffy goes up for the prettiest moonsault ever, and Nia gets her electric chair style, so like basically like sitting on her shoulders, chicken fight style, and drops her right on that exposed turnbuckle.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Absolutely nasty. And then we actually get into my move of the match. There's a point where they start fighting up the ramp, and Tiffy actually goes backstage, and she comes out with a road box and just kind of like throws it at Nia, just kind of like pushes it at her, and Nia's like, "Oh no!" Like it wasn't a great sell and all, but it was a cool move to think of and to do. So that was my move of the match.
Oh my gosh! Once again, my move of the match is not really a move of the match, but a commentary on, the changes that the WWE makes when they go to Saudi Arabia. Did you notice something about the tables?
I did. There was no ad.
I'm going to read off a list for you. Sodium nitrite, soy lectin, citric acid, barley malt extract, lactic acid starter culture, maltodextrin, hydrolyzed soy protein, extractives of paprika and extractives of paprika, dextrose, natural flavors, salt, corn syrup, textured soy flour, water, mechanically separated chicken, pork, and beef. What do all of these ingredients have in common?
They're in a Slim Jim.
They're in a Slim Jim. Yeah, so I guess there's no like alternative or whatever in Saudi Arabia, and so again, it's just like it. I mean, that's just straight up haram. So they can't advertise it. So I think it's really interesting. Once again, like they announced this big deal with Slim Jim. They've been announcing the Slim Jim tables, and then they go to Saudi Arabia for the first PLE about it, and it's like they have a street fight. They have 2 street fights actually, basically. So yeah. I will not be visiting a Turkish consulate anytime soon. Was it? It was a Turkish consulate. Jamal Khashoggi. Yes. But my legit move of the match would probably be the Annihilator, and then another time with the steel chair. There was probably also the double leg drop that Nia had on Tiffany. As much as I hate to say it, Nia was really just a force to be reckoned with throughout this match.
Yeah, so after those 2 Annihilators, Tiffy gets back up, immediately hit with the kendo stick. Nia tries to take her up the ropes for a Super Samoan drop through a table. Tiffy counters into a powerbomb through the table. Once again, we hear Naomi's music. She's coming out trying to cash in.
But Tiffany hits her with the briefcase. She drives Nia into Naomi. Tiffany hits the prettiest moonsault ever. Nia Jax is down, holding her knees, slides out at the nick of time. 2 tables are set up. Nia wants to suplex Tiffany, but Tiffany gets out with the briefcase. Tiffany puts Nia through the tables. Nia Jax out cold. Tiffany retains. That's right.
Fantastic.
It's Tiffy time. Guess what, folks? We still have 14 minutes left of SmackDown.
It was worth. These 14 minutes are so worth it.
Holy gosh. Holy God. The last 14 minutes of SmackDown on June. The last 14 minutes SmackDown on June 27th. We're halfway through the year, right? Over halfway through the year. Probably some of the best promo work already. And we've had some phenomenal promo work already this year.
Agreed.
I don't even know how you want to cover this, dude.
So Cena comes out.
Yeah.
This is what a winner looks like. I'm a winner. CM Punk is a loser. And then we hear a theme song we haven't heard in a really long time.
Just Thugonomics.
And CM Punk comes out all dressed as the doctor of Punkonomics. He's going to talk to us about the basics of Punkonomics. Again, doing John Cena's original bit, right? The doctor of Thugonomics.
So for the unfamiliar, in this case, and it's been coming around on the internet. Hopefully, it's been breaking through into mainstream audiences. But Cena would wear like an unbuttoned baseball jersey or a football jersey, and then he had, what were his rings?
So Cena's would say "Word Life."
Word Life.
Punk said "Drug Free."
Drug Free, and then the padlock chain.
Yeah, the chain with the padlock.
The backwards hat, and then I'm trying to think what was. I mean, did he wear jean shorts? Probably. Would hope so.
Probably. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember off the dome.
But Punk had on the number 13 Punk Cubs jersey, Chicago made, of course. Bulls hat, the padlock jersey, the basketball shoes, just incredible.
Yeah, like perfectly coming out and doing it. So again, John Cena's whole bit of the Doctor of Thugonomics and literally kept him from getting fired was that they heard him freestyling on the back of a bus, and then because he was still the prototype at that point, they're like, "Oh, you can rap." Stephanie McMahon flipped the whole thing. So his promos would always be these, like these raps that he had like dissing on people and all. So Punk came out right and gave him the same thing,
and it's very like battle rap, like 8 Mile, or like what is the genre of battle rap. So it's not, he's not using a beat, but he is rhyming, and it's sort of like a ba 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 sort of cadence. I've been watching some battle rap on Instagram recently. But oh my gosh, good gosh.
And he says so many good things. I'm just going to take a couple because I know we have so much more to get through. My favorites have got to be calling Cena a Timu Macklemore with Mackle-less rhythm.
I don't know how you're not even going to start off with this clown plagiarized pipe bomb, so I'm going to steal word life.
Yeah, like not wrong. I'm here for the cutting things.
Yeah.
Talking about he buried more talent than The Undertaker. If you, I wish I wrote down the setup for this, but I didn't. But it ends up with him saying that if he weren't a champion, he would just be a Boston Mall Cop.
Boston Wall Cop.
And then the Batista shout out.
I'd retire too if this place hired my ex. Yeah, John gets all the roles. Then we see Batista act, and we realize John ain't that. You're nothing but a fishbelly Hulk Hogan, but somehow more problematic. Best in the world. I'm your vessel. Millions chant my name, and at you they chant, "You can't wrestle. You can't wrestle." You're washing James Gunn's underwear. No matter how hard you try, you'll always be the Marine to me. Straight to DVD. Better get a PS3. Now understand why you can't see me. And then I'm going to show Connor a GIF here.
Super hot fire.
It's the super hot fire, and the guy going, ah!
and again, the closing line is, do you have anything else before we get to the closing line here?
It's a hell of a catchphrase, John, because we see you.
And then he finishes with, one more wish to make. You're going to lose to Kendrick because, bitch, you are my Drake.
Whew. I got nothing.
So good.
Incredible.
So freaking good.
How they're intertwining, playing off of each other. Amazing. Anything else from SmackDown before we hop into the Night of Champions here?
Nah, let's jump right in. Let's keep this train moving.
All right. Well, we'll be right back here on The C Show. Ooh, welcome back to the C Show. We're talking about Night of Champions on June the 28th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. At this point in the show, folks, if my voice sounds a little hoarse or anything,
a
little tired, the reason why I did not watch Night of Champions live is because I went to go watch Palmeiras play Botafogo down in at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly, and then my friends and I immediately got in a car. Matt and Ben, friends of the show, immediately hopped in a car, drove up to Harrison, New Jersey, Newark, to see Minnesota United play New York Red Bulls, and then I drove home to Philadelphia afterwards. So I thought you were doing that thing. No, yeah. So yeah, a busy weekend for me, but a big weekend here for the Night of Champions. We have the King and Queen of the Ring tournament finals. We also have a street fight, a singles match between Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, and a championship match for the men's United States Championship. So getting started here, our first match is Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, the King of the Ring tournament final.
This might have been one of my, if not my favorite match from. There was some really good storytelling in there very early on. Randy hurts his back, right? His surgically repaired back, and that was a story for a lot of it, right? There's a point where Randy hits a superplex that definitely hurts him more than it hurts Cody. Later, he goes for his like classic snap back breaker, which again seems to hurt him more. And then we even see Cody start to attack Randy's back. Like, and I literally just wrote, heel Cody inbound, give me back my heels.
Something that Wade says on commentary that I really like resonated with emotionally was when he talks about like lying in bed with a bad back hurts like hell. As somebody who herniated a disc last year, yes, it does. And you also feel useless because you can't do anything. It hurts to walk. Like it hurt to laugh. It was just like, good gosh, no way to live. But yes, yeah, no, with Cody attacking Randy's back like that, there were a couple other points. You know, obviously this is a common tactic, but it was very clear from the beginning of the match that, you know, once Randy took that big bump to his back, that it was kind of like Cody's in control here as long as he targets Randy's back. So this is kind of close to my point here. My move of the match is Randy tries to drape Cody, but Cody counters, targets Randy's back. We get a Cody cutter, a pin. Randy kicks out at 2. My move of the match here is an avalanche Cody cutter off the top turnbuckle. Randy is in absolute agony. Randy does get that draping DDT off the second rope, but again, at what cost for Randy Orton?
Randy hits an RKO for a 2, and then Randy lines up the punt. He said so many times, I won't hesitate. I'll do whatever I need to get this crown. But he does hesitate.
He does.
He's like, but then he revs himself up, right? He tells himself inside whatever he has to, goes for the punt, but Cody moves.
Cody pulls the Lucy on Charlie Brown. I knew you would like that. Cody gets the figure 4 lock in. Randy is at the bottom of the Viper's pit. Randy turns it around. Cody rolls over to break it by grabbing the ropes. Can Randy do it? They go back and forth. Cody goes for a cutter, but Randy intercepts and RKO's Cody. Randy goes out to Timekeeper to grab a chair. Charles Robinson takes the chair from him and reminds Randy, you should know better. But it was a ruse.
It was all a setup.
Randy exposes the turnbuckle. Cody avoids getting slammed into it, however, rolls out as Randy slams into the exposed turnbuckle, leaving him short of breath. Randy gets crossroads, and it's 1, 2, 3 by Charlie Robinson, and it's OVER. Cody is King of the Ring.
Do you think they weren't allowed to put the crown on because they were in Saudi Arabia? Neither of them put the crown on, and I swear like they did a whole ceremony last year and like put it on them and all that. Like, but I realized that neither of them put on the crown after they won.
So many moons ago, when my family went to Australia for summer vacation, when we lived in Japan, my father and I assumed that Burger King is called Hungry Jack's in Australia because of the Queen Elizabeth, King Charles, now King Chuck. That's not true, though. It's Hungry Jack's because it was already a Burger King that held the trademark in Sydney. And so when the guy who licensed it for Burger King in the States, for Burger King Australia, was like, oh, I'd like to set up a Burger King. And they're like, oh, well, there's already a Burger King. No. And then he came up with Hungry Jack's, and the rest is history. But yeah, no, I think that's certainly a thing that happens, is like, oh, well, we can't put a crown on because then it would like usurp their power or whatever. I don't know, man.
It was just something I noticed, and I want to throw it out there. You as the more traveled veteran of the podcast.
Monarchies are bad and weird. It shouldn't be controversial to say that. This is America. We live in Philadelphia. Next up, we have a Riyadh Boulevard street fight. Rhea Raquel versus Raquel Rodriguez.
Rhea Raquel. Ooh, new name drop. Shit. He's eepy.
We have a Riyadh Boulevard street fight. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Real quick off mic. Putting Rhea in PVC. 10 out of 10 choice from the wardrobe department. I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me.
Keep that in. Keep that in.
Keep that in. Keep that in.
Please. I know the part that awakens you later in this match, too.
Woo! Oh, yeah.
So, again, another absolutely wonderful match. They come out, just big power on display early.
Yeah.
The first big thing for me was when Raquel wraps Rhea in the ropes, gets to her arms or something, and just starts beating on her with that kendo stick until she breaks it. She then goes to grab a chair, trying to do the same thing. Rhea kicks the chair directly into her face and then uses the distraction to get out.
Yeah, I feel like this was really a match where it feels like it is sort of an accomplishment for the company to just be like, yeah, we're just going to let two women do a street fight like this. Like 30 years ago, this would not have happened, right? Like,
dude, freaking 20 years ago, like,
yeah,
they were still doing the bra and panties matches and all in like 2005 and not giving them real time. Like, yeah, this is
and this is one of my favorite matches of the year, just because it's two incredible women, like, at the top of their game, frankly. I loved Raquel putting Rhea up in the ropes like that. Rhea escapes from the ropes. She kicks Raquel down to the mat. She slams Raquel into the steps. Something happened to Rhea's shoulders, but Rhea's fine. She clears out the Arabic announcer's table, a face-first slam for Raquel. She pulls Raquel up by the hair. Raquel blocks, but Rhea headbutts.
So when Rhea cleaned off the announce table, she put the like cover of it across the timekeeper's barricade.
Yes, I forgot to mention that.
Which was super cool. And then again, they were kind of battling on the table. I was thinking, okay, Riptide through the announce table. Again, Raquel ends up off the table. So Rhea's like, all right, I'm just going to jump dive at her. So Rhea kind of flips off the table. Raquel catches her, picks her up, and delivers a unfathomable power bomb through the hood of the table into Timekeeper. I let out an audible holy shit. I was like, oh my god.
My audible holy shit was Raquel pulling up the steel steps and wanting to bounce Raquel off of them. Rhea reverses and makes it hell for Raquel. At this point, Rhea decides to take off the belt. Ripley goes up for a razor's edge, kicks the cover. Roxanne Perez comes out at this point. She attacks Rhea. Get out of here with your Doc Martens. Roxanne wants to go for a helicopter spin, but Rhea makes her pay. It's time.
Oh my god, catches her and just plants her with that suplex.
It's time for Mommy to take out the trash. So good. She takes the steel trash can. She puts Roxanne in it. Excuse me. Roxanne's like sitting on the ground. Rhea puts Roxanne in the steel trash can and then just drop kicks her.
Did you hear what she said?
No, please tell me.
Welcome to the Judgment Day.
Beautiful. Excellent.
But this lets Raquel kind of get her win back. She throws Rhea into the steel steps on the apron. She hits her corkscrew Vader bomb for a 2. She goes for a Tahana bomb to try and put Rhea through the table, but she counters. Raquel then puts the table on top of the ropes in the corner.
Yeah.
Something I was like, what are they going to do here? And I'll tell you what.
Not OSHA approved.
They did something here.
Not OSHA approved. Yeah, no, you could see them like surfing on it, basically. Like they're balancing on it, and it's just like, I don't think that was planned. But off the table, avalanche riptide by Rhea Ripley to pin Raquel Rodriguez to win. Holy shit, indeed. It's mommy time. So good. So good.
Yeah. Again, I like the first match just because kind of like the quote unquote storytelling, right? And the traditional. But again, this match was also like, this match is my clear number. Like these are 1A and 1B for me, really.
Let's go. Speaking of, let's go. It's time for Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. This is the first time I've seen Karrion Kross wrestle this year. So this is the first time we've seen his entrance. I love the desaturated black and white look for Karrion Kross's entrance. It's really fantastic. Sami comes out in the keffiyeh, free Palestine. Of course, he's still wearing the subtle Palestine pants with the black, the red, and the green elements. Karrion eggs on Sami to be brutal during this match, but Sami doesn't want to be. He wants to unlock the brutality. Karrion's trunks have the devil on his butt. But this is another match that I really enjoyed. Again, just like two kind of like when we think about it, like wrestlers with an old school build, but doing more modern things, right? Karrion Kross has a background in judo. Sami Zayn has all of his different things that he does as well. A lot of like classic tricks as well.
Two things about Karrion real quick. Have you seen the video? Like, they're talking about the videos of him like snapping bats. Like,
I haven't yet. No.
I've come across those. Those are wild.
I'm scared.
And then two, leading up to it, I read a whole thing. Everyone's like, why doesn't Karrion Kross get pushed? And apparently the thing is he doesn't like to take bumps, or at least that's what people say about him, especially like back bumps or anything. So as I was watching this match, I was like, well, let's see. Does he take any kind of big bumps or anything like that?
He doesn't.
He really didn't. So I don't know if that's true. Again, that was just a couple different things I read about what, because everyone's like, all this, why aren't they pushing him? Apparently part of it is they don't think he can have a really great match if he's not going to take bumps like that.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's fair on both sides.
So I'll jump to my move of the match.
Thank you.
So they're fighting outside the ring, and Karrion goes to Irish whip Sammy into the barricade. Sammy takes like one hop, gets on the top of the barricade, and does a moonsault.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm always talking about Sammy's moonsaults, and I'm always like, but like, again, to be running at it, get up there, and then throw yourself back is unbelievable. That was my move of the match, far and away.
Karrion Kross has a Sato suplex, and almost immediately after that, Kross gets an early pin, but Sammy kicks out at one. Sammy gets hung up in the corner. Karrion taunts him. Cole says, this guy is a fry short of a Happy Meal. Karrion is sitting on top of Sammy, gets a few punches while taunting him again. Sammy punches out before a leapfrog bounce off the ropes and a clothesline on Karrion Kross.
I'm going to jump to my move of the match. So my first one is just, there's a point where Jacob gets tossed out of the ring and he goes and kind of crawls under the announce table. I mean, it crawls under the ring.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what for. I was like, is he blading? Is he going to give himself some color right now? But comes back out like, no issues, nothing's up. So I'm not sure why he crawled under there. And then my other favorite part was Solo had Jacob in a rest hold. So what that is, that a wrestling rest hold is basically like you make it look like you have someone in like a submission or just kind of a compromised situation.
Yeah.
But it lets both guys kind of breathe, like no one's putting pressure on each other, lets them get their win back. But Solo's just talking junk the whole time, like right into the camera, like you should have stayed. I brought you here, like all those things.
I tried for you, Jacob. I
he's
loved
just sitting
you.
in the rest hold. I thought that was fantastic.
Fatu fighting back. Solo suplexes him. Fatu gets back up. Solo suplex now. Jacob kicks him. An impaler by Fatu. Jacob dominating, but Solo's still in it. JC Mateo comes scrambling out, but Tonga Loa grabs Jacob Fatu, hits him with a spinning neck breaker. Solo gets a pin opportunity, but it's not enough. Fatu over the top to take out JC and Tonga Loa. Fatu comes up with a pop-up Samoan drop. Fatu. A moonsault by Fatu. Tama Tonga chokeslams Fatu into the announcer's table. Tonga rolls Fatu back in the ring. Solo Samoan spike on Fatu. Pin. 1, 2, 3. It's over. Solo's group grows in strength, literally and figuratively.
New U.S. champion.
A new U.S. champion. So this is our second change of championship this episode?
Yes. Han. So what was his name, the new guy they brought out? 'Cause I totally missed it.
It was Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa.
Well, no, Tonga Loa is the other one that's already here but hurt. They brought out the new guy, the new super tall guy.
Tama Tonga.
What, aren't Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, aren't they the two they already had and they both got hurt at?
I think they were. That's their like they're coming back.
I'm pretty sure that's a different dude. He looked big as fuck because they were like, he's like 7 feet tall on commentary. Tala Tonga. Gotcha. Yes, he's the brother of Tonga Loa. Hate to be that guy. Get some original names out here. I don't know when that starts stepping on toes, but
on Toas.
God fucking damn you. And like, now do we have to keep all this just for that joke? Like we can't keep all this bullshit, but like, God, I guess that's gonna have to be like the clothes, like after. God damn it, son of a bitch.
Woo! Woo! Next up is the Queen of the Ring finale, Asuka versus Jade Cargill. Let me just say, off the top of the top here, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, 19 minutes 45 seconds. Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, 14 minutes flat. Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross, 13:35. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, 12:05. Okay, you're seeing a picture here, right? Like, that all kind of makes sense time-wise, right? Like, okay, yeah, 12 minutes, 13 and a half, 14 minutes. And then Cody and Randy is a 20-minute match because it's King of the Ring finale. Okay, why are Jade and Asuka only 8.5 minutes? That's like almost... It's almost half of... You know,
putting my hater hat on real quick, right?
Oh.
Right. If I'm part of the IWC hater community, I would love to see what Jade's longest solo match is. People kind of talk about some more issues when she wrestles solo, and like kind of the end here kind of points to that a little bit. So I wonder how much of that could be that, right? Asuka is still coming back. She could kind of still be getting her win back again. She looks great.
True.
So I think it could be a little A, little B. I'm going to lean more towards Asuka on the comeback trail. Then again, Jade keeps getting better. I don't know what her longest match is, but again, that's how the match ended. I saw a couple people kind of talking like that in the IWC. So just throwing it out there.
I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I want more Jade. I want more Asuka. I want more Jade. I want more Asuka.
Agreed.
And I'm like, I'm not a bad person for thinking that, right?
No,
like,
absolutely.
I just want them to
Oops,
wrestle.
all Jade and Asuka.
Yeah, oops. Two of the best wrestlers on the roster. So yeah, we start off here with Jade in white and gold and Asuka in black and red. Think about that for a moment before we begin here. Connor, what's your move of the match?
So my move of the match here, again, there was great storytelling here. Like very early, Asuka starts to work the leg of Jade. Again, something you do when you're going against like a bigger, stronger wrestler. There's a point where Jade goes for a choke slam. Asuka rolls all the way through into a knee bar. But my move of the match comes when Jade hits a spine buster and then hits a fall away slam and then does the kip up even with the hurt knee.
Yep.
Even on commentary, they're like, I don't know if that was the best idea, but it looked sick. It like, again, it's such an athlete, like unbelievable. Again, like hurt knee or not, again, kayfabe or not, like amazing.
Yeah, no, another phenomenal match. You know, despite our complaints here, Asuka has a missile drop kick. As we get towards the end here, Asuka has a missile drop kick. Jade kicks out of the pin. Another arm bar by Asuka. Jade hooks her arms, but Asuka snaps back. Jade turns it into a pin combo. Asuka kicks out, but Jade kicks to the face. Asuka goes for the Asuka lock. Jade in trouble, but she turns it into a pin opportunity. Still fighting back. Asuka is jaded. Jade pulls a jaded on Asuka, rolls it into a pin opportunity. It's sloppy, but 1, 2, 3, and it's over. A win is a win.
Yeah, so they're already talking about this because she hits the Jade and she does her little like leg flip over, and as she goes to kind of grab Asuka's leg and do that real like tilt back, she also falls. So part of it's like she's kind of not on Asuka anymore. Part of it is Jade's shoulders are also down. So a little A, little B there, right? The only other move I want to shout out is Jade hit an awesome sit out power bomb that just shook the place. But again, I love Jade, and unfortunately people are going to keep hating on her, especially for like little things, little botches like this, right? People are like, oh, WWE's going to take away the crown and do this and do that. Like, they're not going to do that. Like, guess what? Last year's King of the Ring with Gunther and Randy Orton ended up a similar way with a botched pin. Like, everyone take a breath for me. Let her enjoy her Queen of the Ring, and then let's build to seeing her at SummerSlam take on if it's still Tiffy or whoever's on deck.
Yeah, no, and I think Asuka also had a great match as well, and this is a great opportunity for Asuka to shine and show that, like, again, she doesn't have much ring rust.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like, Asuka, who's been around and done a lot of stuff, a lot of things. Like, it makes sense for her to put over a younger talent that they're still kind of, quote unquote younger, newer to the company that they're trying to put over. Like, that's what the older ones are supposed to do.
Byron Saxton now interviews Jade. Jade reminds us, don't let them tell you who you are. Show them. A storm is coming for SummerSlam. Next up, we have the Men's Undisputed Championship, CM Punk versus John Cena. Really funny that the Saudis are singing along to Cult of Personality. This is from Genius.com. The phrase Cult of Personality is a reference to a February 1956 speech by Russian leader, Soviet leader, Nikita Khrushchev, titled On the Cult of Personality and Its Consequences, in which he condemned previous Soviet leader Joseph Stalin's use of oppression and brutality.
The call is coming
from inside the house. Okay, here. What's my note? What's my note there?
Oh, stop. The call is coming from inside the house, folks. That's awesome. That's awesome. Because we don't share notes before for spoilers. We don't watch it at the same time. That's right. Awesome.
Great minds.
Well, whatever minds, I guess.
Seashell minds. Just before we get started here as well, just a tale of the tape. It's 6-6. It's a total draw. 1 no contest, 1 draw between CM Punk and John Cena. They have not wrestled each other for almost 13 years. Mm-hmm. Where do you want to start here?
Oh my God. Again, so much good stuff. Again, 2 really great wrestlers. They wrestled like 2 guys that have wrestled each other a whole lot, right? We get some Cena classics, the Fisherman's Suplex, the Scoop Slam, right? There's a point where Cena kind of runs out of the ring as Punk almost hits a GTS. Punk hammocks in the corner, right? Just throws himself hanging out. Punk hits the side Russian leg sweep. He tries to get the octopus out to his wife, AJ Lee. And then we kind of get into more of the classics. Cena goes for the 5 moves of doom. Punk gets out of the AA. Punk comes back right with that neck breaker, the running knee. And then I think we get into your move of the match here.
Yeah, my move of the match is an homage to the Macho Man, a flying elbow by Punk on John Cena. At this point, Punk says it's time to go to sleep, but John catches Punk, puts him in the STF. Punk turns it around, both shoulders put to the ground. An attitude adjustment by Cena. Punk kicks out at 2. Cena now turned and put into the STFU. Cena struggling for the rope, gets it, causes the break.
And again, this is where we start seeing guys who know each other a lot and know their moves. So again, Punk goes for that running knee. His usual move is that running knee into a bulldog out the corner. Hits the running knee again. This time, CM Punk goes for the bulldog, but Cena reverses. They then go into a series where they literally counter each other's like classic moves about 4 times in a row.
Yeah. Go to sleeps, AAs, STFs. It's pretty clear what's going on here.
So all that finishes with Cena hitting another AA for a 2 count. Cena's like, all right, fine, we're going. If an AA won't do it, an avalanche AA will. He gets CM Punk up to the second rope to do it. Punk makes it into a cross body after he pushes John off. But this is my move of the match. Cena hits with the Mark Henry spot.
Oh.
So Mark Henry, old WWE wrestler, works with AEW now, I believe. You can usually hear him on Busted Open Radio as well. So the Mark Henry spot is when someone dives off, does a crossbody, you basically catch them, you roll over their back while still holding them, and basically deadlift them back up.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Henry would do that to do his World's Strongest Slam, because he was the World's Strongest Man at one point. He did win that competition. But Punk does it, and then puts Cena does it, and then puts Punk up for another AA, but still only a 2 count.
John grabs his title. He doesn't care if a DQ happens. John's struggling internally. If the fans say no, so he finally listens. Punk hits him with a go to sleep. Cena kicks out at 2. Punk now getting an upper hand. Cena accidentally blasts the ref, so there's no ref when Punk gets a cover. The crowd counts 6, 7, 8, 9. Funny how that works, huh? Dan Engler, the referee, is OUT out. Looking to the Titatron, hoping for salvation here from a referee. Burn it down. Punk wanted a referee. He got his worst nightmare. Breaker and Reed are sent to the ring. Punk has to fight them off. Bronson and Breaker are now outside the ring. Punk overshoots his dive. Punk goes through the Arabic announcer table. Rollins calls for a referee. Charles Robinson comes scrambling
Our
down.
boy to save the day.
Cena knocks Little Nate down.
Damn.
An attitude adjustment for Seth Rollins. Reed and Breaker gang up on Cena. Cero Miedo. Breaker dumps Penta on the stage. Breaker beating up Penta. But who's this? Let's go. It's Sami Zayn. Sami taking it to the barricade off the ramp. Breaker and Sami in some street fight shit. Penta lining up on the ramp. Crossbody off the ramp. Reed up on the top turnbuckle. Punk prevents the tsunami. Cena picks up Reed, dumps him for the AA. Punk and Cena. Now the shenanigans are clear. Punk holds out his hand.
One comment on the shenanigans. I have seen so many great memes of Penta coming out and literally like Bronson Reed is like choking and punching Cena and Penta's just doing his strut on the ramp and it's like my boys whenever I actually really need a hand and it just shows Penta strutting on the ramp. So great. All right, now the shenanigans are over.
Shenanigans are clear. Punk holds out his hand. They shake hands, hug. But we've seen this before. Cena stares at the camera.
Through the camera.
Yeah. Punk was ready to block the low blow. Rollins clocks Punk with the briefcase, hits him with a stomp. Cena rolls up Punk for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Cena retains.
And I love the end here because Cena walks up to the ramp and he literally tells Cameron, he's like, you stay right here, right? And he flashes the belt and does all that. And then he even finishes like with, all right, you can cut this now. And I'm like, damn, he's even calling his spots to the camera crew now?
Don't take me out yet. Stay on and watch this. The C Show. Welcome back to the C Show. Connor, do you want to know something that you think I never thought I... You want to hear something that I thought I would never say?
Hit me with it.
God, it's good to be back in Pittsburgh. Whew. All right. First up, it's Mommy. Welcome to Monday Night Mommy. Rhea wants to get her priorities straight, but it's time for EO.
As always, a reminder, we are the #1 EO Sky podcast. I once again asked Lid for an EO Sky fit check. Lid said, incredible top, small top, big pants is the move.
Small top, big pants is the move. Rhea does do the head tilt, which is pretty fun.
Oh, at the end, yeah.
EO reminds us that you cannot have Evolution without EO Sky. EO claims that Rhea is not on top, not without the title. EO has it. Pierce told EO that she can defend against anyone. She decides to defend against the best, Rhea Ripley. Rhea is going to stop at nothing to get the belt back. If that's what you want, it'll happen at Evolution.
You are on.
Backstage, Dom is hyping up JD and Finn, and as JD and Finn walk out, AJ Styles walks in. Last week, we learned that Dom has a injury, quote unquote, and is unable to perform at the current moment. He has a doctor's note, which has been approved by Adam Pierce. Adam Pierce wrote a message. AJ pulls out his readers. AJ remarks, doctor says, here, you're a punk ass. Dom says, I don't like hitting the elderly anyways.
On two other things. So one is Pierce said that if AJ makes any contact with Dom before their match, he will lose his #1 contendership.
Oh.
So that's why he couldn't hit him. And then Dom says that as as AJ's walking away, and AJ comes back, and Dom just holds up the doctor's note and says, you can't touch me.
You can't touch me.
And then in the very back, as he's walking away, you hear like fade, you hear him say, MC Hammer, can't touch this.
Moving on, we've got the Judgment Day versus the New Day here for the Tag Team Championship. Kofi offers Finn some carbs at the beginning here. They say it's a piece of bread, but it looks like an English muffin.
I thought it was a pancake at first because New Day used to do a whole bit where they have a big plate of pancakes and all. But again, like they said it was a piece of bread. I'm like, maybe it's bread. I don't know,
man. I just thought offering two Irishmen an English muffin was a bit of a spit in the face. Corey and Michael are in absolutely high spirits for this match. They are joking with each other. Again, Pat, take all the time you need. My move of the match here is the first sling blade by Balor. He pulls off another one, but I just really liked this first one. It spoke to me. I liked it a lot.
Oh, man, there's a lot of good stuff in this match, man. They're all good. They're all good. I was going to say, I'll jump ahead to after your move, right? McDonough hits a springboard moonsault outside to Woods. Finn blind tags when Xavier tries to get a pin on JD. JD holds down Woods for the coup de grace, but then Finn ends up stomping on JD anyway. New Day hits the midnight hour for a 2. Woods hits Finn with the title when the ref is distracted, but Finn still kicks out. JD tags in and hits a Spanish fly with Woods from the top rope.
Wow.
And then we can get into our finish here.
Yeah, so Kofi jumps out of the ring, but he's sling-bladed by Finn. There's a moonsault by JD, and then a coup de grace by Balor. Judgment Day Tag Team Champions. New Day sucks.
Once again.
Backstage, Jackie Redmond is with Bayley. Bayley is still focused on the Intercontinental title, but Lyra walks in. Apparently, Bayley won't respond to calls, text messages, smoke signals. Lyra was going to apologize, but this beef between Bayley and Becky has been going on for 10 years. Adam Pearce snaps. He set it up. Bayley versus Lyra later tonight. Winner is the #1 contender for the IC title. During an ad break, Byron Saxton interviews Grayson Waller. The flops in Pittsburgh would love an answer about A-Town Down Under. Grayson wants to give his flowers to the New Day. The Hornswoggle lookalikes from the Judgment Day were nothing. Let's look at the New Day's achievements. You've booed them. You turned on them. They finally got rid of Big E. They cut the cord. They became successful again. We could all learn something from the New Day. Thank God for the New Day. This is like MJF joining the Hurt Syndicate in AEW, right?
I get your parallel. I'm with it.
We have a promo for Goldberg. Good God, we get it. Chad Gable meets with American Made. Now that Chad's getting surgery, he'll be taking some time off. Chad is an Olympian. He makes his own luck. Pierce, after Pierce offers him good luck.
Pierce also hits him with the, I guess we won't be seeing El Grande Americano anytime soon. And Chad's to me like, well, he's the best luchador in the world. He has a very busy schedule.
Did you see the gentleman in the background?
I did not.
Ludwig.
We'll come back to that.
Chad reminds the Brutus brothers to listen to Ivy. Cole is so sarcastic, talking about American Made, and Chad Gable, it's hysterical. Aldis and Pierce, again, are talking. Finn and JD approach. They have an idea for the women's tag team titles. We find Raquel a new tag team partner. But who could that be? What about Roxanne Perez?
And then I just loved how they very much had a very like cartoonish style, like side huddle where they took like 2 steps away and they were talking. They kind of did the look back to look over their shoulder. And then they're like, all right, that's a great idea. But in 2 weeks, they will defend their titles against a team from every other brand at Evolution 2.
Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Aldis is happy that him and Pierce are on the same page. Pierce responds, for now. Next up, we have Rusev versus Sheamus. Before we get started here, I just want to say, this is an old school match. This is 2 big guys, 2 heavyweights, kind of grappling, kicking, chopping. Real technical, not very. There's not a lot of what I would call modern showman's types of moves. I feel like they should have saved this for Saturday night's main event, but it is what it is.
I assume this is not done.
Yeah,
I don't know if
no,
it'll be
this-
Saturday night's main event. Maybe we'll push to SummerSlam, but this is coming back.
Yeah, no, for sure. This
And
is
again,
definitely coming
this is
back.
just a powerhouse match. Trading.
Yep.
I literally put just trading meaty shots early. My move of the match comes early. Sheamus does what they call the Predator, where he literally just like sticks all his fingers in Rusev's mouth, and just fish hooks him to hell. Rusev hits a crazy big power bomb. Rusev tries to dive off the apron at Sheamus. He catches him into a power slam. Right, to the point where Sheamus is down the corner and Rusev is just stomping his ass, and Sheamus just keeps yelling, "Keep hitting me! Hit me! Hit me!" Fantastic.
My move of the match is Rusev says that it's over, and then he tries to do the accolade on Sheamus, but Sheamus literally puts Rusev on his shoulders, or it's more like his back, and then piggybacks him up, basically.
And that's when they both fall out of the ring, right? Right.
Yeah.
They go ass over tin buckets out of the whole thing.
Yep. Sheamus drives him into the corner, and then the apron outside.
Hell yeah.
The big kick to Rusev. Rusev slides in at the last second after the count out. A jaw-jarring brogue kick. Say that 6 times fast. Rusev exposes the turnbuckle. He throws Sheamus throat first into it. Sheamus struggling to breathe. Rusev kicks Sheamus down, and Rusev pins 1, 2, 3.
Just 2 other things from that match. First, going to him exposing the turnbuckle. To get the space to expose the turnbuckle, he pokes Sheamus right in the eye, just eye gouges him. And earlier in the match, there is a point where Sheamus like pulls down the knee pads, hits the 2 big knees, and it had to be a 2-point. I put 999999999 kick out. Like I thought it was over. I'm like, oh, they botched it, but then obviously they had the rest of this set up, so it was just an awesome kick out by Rusev. Great awareness. I'd love to go back and see if his eyes were open and he was watching, or if he's just one of those guys that can sense it. But that was so freaking close. Again, great match. I need them to reload it. Maybe throw a stipulation on this. Let's keep this cooking.
Cage match? Cage match?
No, I want some really effed up street fight. Like they have a very specific branded street fight where it's like Farmers Equipment Street Fight, or like, see, I don't. There's something there. Come back to me next week.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna start calling up all of the lawn manufacturing companies, whatever. Toto, Craftsman,
John Deere,
Ryobi, John Deere, Kubota. Backstage, Jackie Redmond is with American Made. Ivy Nile says, "We have a lot of work to do." But El Grande Americano approaches and walks across the frame. El Grande Americano, a little bit more pale. Now like 6 foot tall. A little bit skinnier. Interesting.
Lydia immediately goes, "Oh, that's Ludwig Kaiser."
Yeah, it's Ludwig Kaiser.
And then I was sitting there and I'm
posture
like,
gives him away.
And I'm like, okay, so this is a way for them to talk about like, you know, a reason of why he was away while he was away, right? And again, whether it's like, you know, they try and spin it that he was him the whole time and he was on tour, but again, this is something they can do to be like, no, we weren't benching Ludwig Kaiser, like. But again, like when he walks by and every single one is shocked, like Jackie Redmond, Alpha, they're all like, oh, what the F? We also quickly get both managers saying that at Evolution 2, there will be a battle royale for a title shot at Clash in Paris.
I skipped over that because we'll get back to that in a moment here. Jackie Redmond then approaches Sami Zayn, who gets attacked by Karrion Kross. Kross gets a pipe and attacks Sami Zayn. Finally, security intervenes and Scarlett drags him away.
Again, shout out Lid being like, why are they just leaving a pipe around? It's like, look, this is wrestling. This is not, you know, this is not how normal people operate.
Yeah, you just leave pipes around, you know. During an ad break, Byron Saxton interviews Stephanie Vaquer. Finally, we're getting more Stephanie Vaquer. She's excited about Evolution. I am too. She's excited about the #1 contender battle royale. She came to be La Primera #1. She wants to face Io or Rhea. I've conquered championships all over the world. Being a champion is part of who I am. I will not stop until I am the WWE Women's Champion. Next up, we've got Gunther setting up for his match with Goldberg, Goldberg's retirement match. Gunther's not afraid of what's left of Bill Goldberg. It's one last hurrah at Gunther's expense. Definitely not going to happen. Gunther will beat him in under 3 minutes.
So Gunther says, "Oh, we all just saw that video, and just like all his matches summed up in 3 minutes or less for you."
Bill doesn't like bullies. Too bad he bumped into the biggest bully in the world.
One other thing he said is that I want to take him apart, blow him up, and embarrass him. So blow him up is a wrestling term. Like if you're blown up, it means you're tired. Like you're beat. So like when one guy like goes too fast because the other guy tired, right? He blows him up, right? Or that guy is blown up. And to say that because Goldberg had a match way back in WCW with William Regal, and they basically went like, we don't really know if this guy can wrestle. Like, we need you to go out and like have a match with him. And Regal just went hard as hell and blew him up like immediately. Goldberg was gassed. So I don't know if that was a direct callback to that. If so, great pull, Gunther.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It's like, so we're going to find out, do you still have it? I'm going to expose that you never had it. And that I will ask, who's next?
Seth Rollins, perhaps, because his music plays.
New briefcase design.
It's black and gold now. Will there be a ref? All he needs is a ref. Again, Seth now has the he once again has the $1,400 Versace shades. You're very proud to have traveled very far and achieved absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing? Seth and Paul want to congratulate their ring general. Seth wanted to prevent CM Punk from being a champion. There was a reason. He flew all across the world to stand on that business. Seth warned everyone it was going to be an all-out war on both world titles.
And going back real quick to CM Punk, he's like, if there is breath in my body, CM Punk will not be a world champion in this company.
But of course, cult of personality plays. Seth is so mad. Punk runs in and him and Seth go at it. Rollins runs out and through the stands. Punk screams, "You're a coward," at Seth Rollins. Punk wants to walk out, but Gunther wants a word. Punk knocks him down and wants him to stay out of his way. LA Knight comes down behind Seth Rollins.
Eating his popcorn, just having a great time.
They go up the stairs and out to the concourse. Don't spill the icy light when you get slammed up against the bar.
And my favorite thing is that to end it, Seth just throws a cup of ice in Knight's face and bails, like very like pocket sandish. Just
yes,
throws at him and just runs. And then Knight stares through the camera. As I was watching it, I paused it for something, and it was during the transition of Knight staring through the camera to Judgment Day backstage. And it was such a funny picture. I wish I could have screenshotted it, but damn you, Netflix!
Damn you, Netflix! We get another Judgment Day sketch. Everybody is celebrating their titles, but Raquel just doesn't want to replace Liv like that. Finn gaslights Raquel. Finn wants to have a vote about including or having Roxanne join Raquel as the tag team, the women's tag team.
Well, Finn just wants Raquel to stay champion. That's all. Like, if they don't, like, they're going to strip you. Like, I just want you to stay champion.
That's the gaslighting I'm referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Finn wants to have a vote. Him and JD obviously are in. Roxanne's in. Dom needs to talk to Liv, but Finn pressures him into agreeing as well.
To he's like, alleged yes.
Raquel needs Roxanne to hold up her end of the bargain.
Roxanne then just goes, I want to help you all with anything you need while Liv is gone, and just shoots these big eyes at Dom the whole time.
I didn't see that.
Oh,
Gross.
literally turns and is like, I just want to help you with anything you guys need while Liv is gone.
Gross. We got Roxanne says that she's going to take revenge on Kairi Sane. Finn thinks that Liv will love this. We got a Kairi Sane pre-tape. It's a really awesome CGI. We're aboard her ship. She says, I fight with heart and honor. That's why I'm here. I will have all your gold. I am not afraid of anything. I don't run from the storm. I run into it. The pirate princess is here.
Yeah, that whole pre-tape was sick. Like again, I've always been a fan of, but like, what a great way to, again, lean into the pirate princess bit. Like, again, her on the ship, her with the spyglass.
Yep.
Right? Spyglass?
Spyglass.
Just great. I need to see her do so much more.
The eye patch.
Oh, all of it, brother.
I love that she's got the spyglass and then she's looking through the eye that's covered by the eye patch.
Oh, I missed that. And the funny thing is, so they have Bailey come out before this. Bailey gets her full entrance. They go to commercial, and then they show the Kairi Sane pre-tape. So Lyra gets the jobber entrance. She's just in the ring, and the match is ready to start. So I called my shot before it started, and I'm still going to read it, even though it didn't turn out to be true. Right? Again, I share everything I put down here. I said there's no way that Becky does not get involved, and we're going to get a triple threat at Evolution 2, which I think will still happen, but not because of the reason I thought.
Yeah, so we can jump right to it, I feel like, because there's some great action between Bailey and Lyra Valkyria, but the real action here is the end of the match.
Oh, brother, you're not jumping me, dude.
Dude, all right, you go.
So Bailey hits an awesome second rope arm drag. Lyra does an awesome backslide where she really jumps over Bailey, hooks her arms into the backslide for a 2. There's a point where Bailey goes for a monkey flip, which is where like she's on her back, basically has Lyra on her feet and tries to flip her over onto her back. Lyra does a cartwheel out of it, which was so athletic. It was so cool. And then I love when they both do a crossbody at each other and just slam into each other and do the double down. After that, I just love Bailey continues to do the running elbow off the steel steps. And then now we can get into the meat and potatoes here, but I had to call those out.
Yeah, so after a Bailey superplex on Lyra, they both pin each other in the aftermath. Bailey to back suplex on Lyra. Bailey nearly slips off the steps with a dropped elbow on Lyra, but she powers through. Lyra gut wrench powerbomb on Bailey. Bailey does kick out of the pin opportunity. Lyra and Bailey now trade pin opportunities. They do this 4 or 5 times. Jessica Carr hits a 1-2-3 count, but it's not clear who it's for. Turns out Jessica calls out the timekeeper and calls it a draw. When it's announced over the microphone, Lyra is displeased by this opportunity. Lyra then slams Bailey into the barricade and then into timekeeper.
So the reason it was called a draw is because both of them had their shoulders down for the full 3 count, and no one was specifically like on top or covering the other one.
Right.
So that's why it was called a draw.
Yeah, they were basically like shoulder to shoulder, essentially. So this brawl is your move of the match. So you want to talk about it a little bit more?
Oh yeah, just like they battle into timekeeper, they're out into the crowd, right? They're slamming on the roadbox and all, and then again they finally get pulled apart. It's the one time like security and all does their job, and they don't get back together. And again, they're just screaming at each other. She's like, Lyra, this is your fault. This is your fault. Lyra's like, you're done, Becky. You're done. And I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna keep going, and I love it.
Backstage, Jackie Redmond approaches CM Punk. He says Seth Rollins' knees haven't worked that well in years. Punk wants Seth, he tells LA Knight. But LA Knight reminds him, so what that means is that I am the line.
You can have him 6 days a week, but it was just announced for Saturday night's main event, me versus Seth Rollins. So I am the line. Yeah.
Yeah. Backstage, Sammy is getting treatment. Penta asks if he wants to do this.
No words were exchanged. Just
None
a simple
at all.
gesture that we know as
Cero miedo. That's all Penta needs. We go into our final match of the evening here. Sami Zayn and Penta, El Zero Miedo, versus The Vision, Big Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. We have a quick cold open to this match. Backstage, Paul ends a call with Seth Rollins, who's perfecting Plan B. But Braun Breaker wants the plan for him to smash anyone who gets in their way.
Quick shout out to Paul Heyman, like holding his phone about 4 inches from his face and talking into it like straight up and down, like he's a million years old. That's all his calls are like that, and it's so funny.
That's straight boomer mode.
Absolutely.
Straight boomer mode. Breaker says, hit my music. But CM calls him Braun. Braun and Penta go at it first. And again, Seth Rollins is already on a jet home, setting up Plan B.
I thought there was no way he wasn't coming out here. I'm like, this is such a look over here. I'm like, he's definitely coming out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. At one point, Cole says the prehistoric power of Bronson Reed, but At the same time, Zayn and Penta beat him down with a flurry of punches.
So they both try to Irish whip him. They both grab an arm, and he kind of keeps just like dropping anchor. They try it a second time, and they're both just like, you know what? F this. And again, just start beating the hell out of him.
Penta does a super kick into a stereo Penta walk. So both Sammy and Penta doing the little walk. And in stereo, self-harm dives outside into the mat. Sami Zayn, really a Ditto-esque character, really fitting in wherever he gets in.
Right? Then he hits his Arabian moonsault I always talk about. He does the Sabu point.
Yes, that's what I was thinking about earlier. That's what I was looking for when we were talking about Sami Zayn, is that I thought he did it during Night of Champions, but he did it on Raw instead.
Right, and then he also does his sunset flip power bomb to Bronson.
One other thing, though. But did you see how they cut to Paul afterwards, after Sammy did the Arabian press off the top rope?
No.
Paul was face palming, remembering the money he probably owed Sabu.
So they end up getting back in the ring. Bronson Reed misses a senton, lets Sammy get the hot tag to Penta.
Mm-hmm.
Through this whole thing, you can hear Penta calling his moves. So Penta hits a crossbody. You can hear him yell to Breaker, "Give me the clothesline." He ducks the clothesline and kicks him. Penta does the headstand kick in the corner. And then you hear him yell, "Roll to the middle." So so Breaker rolls to the middle, gets hit with the sacrifice, which again, the sacrifice doesn't make a lot of sense to me because, again, he'll use it in a match and it's like, oh, that sucks. And then, literally the next thing Braun does is military press him.
Yeah.
But then it will also injure Chad Gable for an undisclosed amount of time.
Who knows? But Penta turns that military press into a DDT opportunity. But what's Paul Heyman doing? Reed pulls Penta down. Penta gets a Breakensteiner. Reed a sit-up power bomb, but Sammy breaks up the pin at 2.99. Sammy and Breaker tag in. Sammy exploder on Breaker. Sammy wants a haluva kick. Breaker gets him with a clothesline. Reed breaks up the pin. Sammy suplexes Reed but gets speared by Breaker. Pin 1, 2, 3. Breaker and Reed win. Breaker lines up Penta, who is only checking in on Sammy. Reed drags Sammy over to the corner for a tsunami. But who's that? It's just me, Uso.
Jey Uso comes out, steel chair in hand.
He's got a chair!
And look, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Now, never claimed to be. If I'm doing something and someone comes out to stop me holding a steel chair, I'm not going to run directly at him.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to run headlong into him. Not my style.
But Braun Breaker gets the chair. Bronson Reed wants some yeet, yeet, yeet. What a pop. Jay loses his chair but gets it back. And then Reed gets a headshot.
Again, shout out Sabu. Literally just throws it at him. Just throws it at his dome. Like, not a swing, nothing. Just throws it at him.
Welcome back to America. That's how we do it here. Anything else you want to mention from Raw?
Man, I thought it drug a little bit. Again, I get it. It's hard. They were doing a lot of traveling. I'm sure they had a lot of people kind of up and down with everything. I just hope we get a good solid week here as we start building towards Saturday night's main event. And then Evolution, SummerSlam, all that. Like, let's just start fleshing out a couple more things. I'm interested to see what they do with this Ludwig Kaiser, El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have him talk, right? Because, because that
it'll
already, that super gives it away, even though it was already given away. But
I was going to say, the Germans and Mexicans working together. It's happened before. Look at the Zimmerman telegram. That is a fake piece of information. It's like one of the first pieces of disinformation in the modern age.
Oh, stop.
It was intercepted, allegedly, and it detailed a secret plan between Germany and Mexico for Mexico to enter the Great War. And that's one of the reasons that spurred the U.S. into joining the First World War.
See, I was wishing I knew more about it because I was trying to get to what is this? Insert war here, but I didn't know which one it was.
Well, it was one of the two.
50-50 shot.
50-50 shot. Well, listen, we'll be here as SmackDown goes down to 2 hours. We'll see if things pick up here in a crowded summer schedule. We've got a lot of things going on, but we'll be back. We'll be right back here on The C Show. Welcome back to The C Show. We're talking about upcoming events on the WWE schedule. The first one that I really want to talk about is Evolution. So let me pull that up here.
Evolution 2.
Evolution 2.
The Evolutioning.
So this will be the second all-women's professional wrestling pay-per-view event produced by the WWE. So it's wrestlers from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT so far. Let's look at what the card is right now. Ooh. So our first match is JC Jane, who is the NXT Women's Champion, with Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix versus Jordynne Grace. And then we have a singles match for the Women's World Championship, Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus two teams to be determined in a fatal four-way tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Oh, okay. So they must have announced that, or that happens on SmackDown.
That happens on SmackDown. So FYI, you may see things come out. We tease some things as well. SmackDown for Friday, which is July 4th, was recorded on Monday night. So some things have already been set up. We also have the Battle Royale for a Women's World Championship match at Clash in Paris. Participants to be decided. We also have Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. That'll be announced this Friday on SmackDown. A singles match for the WWE Women's Championship. We also have... Oh, okay, all right. That was the Evolution Eliminator for the NXT Women's Championship. So, yeah, a lot going on there. Lots of stacked talent. Raquel and Roxanne versus Alexa and Charlotte. That'll be really interesting to see how they tie Charlotte and Alexa together. And then Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. Two icons, I feel like. I mean, I feel like you could wax poetic about Trish Stratus. Many young men of our generation can talk at length about Trish Stratus.
You know, there's a handful of loading screens on these wrestling video games that, spend some time looking at.
Are we still doing phrasing?
Bah.
Oh, here we go. There was a canceled match. WWE began teasing a match between Liv Morgan and Nikki Bella, but Morgan suffered a legitimate dislocated shoulder. So yeah, this first match, let's talk about it. JC Jane and Jordynne Grace. I'm really only familiar with Jordynne Grace from being absolutely ripped and then Royal Rumble. So
yeah, I don't know a whole lot either. Again, I mostly see it in those pictures where you see Sabrina Carpenter and then Tiffany Stratton and then her, where it talks about the evolution of a Pokemon just getting more and more ripped. But no, I've heard good things. I'm excited to see it. Again, let all these women shine on the big stage, and then let's see where we end up.
Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship.
#1 Io Sky podcast. No further comment.
The couch is
no
split.
Further comment.
The couch is split.
I'll show you split.
We got Raquel and Roxanne versus Alexa and Charlotte. We don't have too much about that because there's going to be two other teams from SmackDown and NXT. Right?
Raw and NXT.
Raw and NXT. Thank you. And then Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus.
Like, Tiffy's definitely going to win. Like, they really don't bring these older
Legends.
wrestlers back usually to win.
Yeah.
But again, hopefully they can put on a classic. I don't know what Trish has left in the tank, but again, I think it's going to be a good match, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just keep Tiffy out of hot water in the meantime.
Absolutely. What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, did you not catch that?
What was that?
What I sent you? How she's under fire again? How
For
I
what?
texted you? So when she was leaving after the street fight, there was someone in the crowd like, oh, you're just keeping the title warm for Naomi, like coming. And I forget exactly what it was, something along the lines of like, watch your mouth, boy, or something. And then, of course, you turn the camera and it's an African-American man. Yeah. When I texted you earlier about she's under fire again, that was why.
Okay.
Prior Lake's finest is my understanding.
Okay, all right. Hold on. That title can be revoked. That title can be revoked. Well, listen, her partner was already in some hot water too, so who knows? But listen, we're gonna look into that. We'll have more details on that next week here on The C Show. Of course you like The C Show. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share our podcast with your friends. Make sure to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, and YouTube at CShowPod. If you have questions for the boys? Send us an email, cshowpod@gmail.com. Thanks to our friends, Amir and Patrick, for their assistance. The C Show is a production of 832 Media. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.
Cat!
What a cracker to end on. Oh my gosh.